When she first heard of Doomsday, he was only another monster that needed to be stopped. Until this creature ripped through the Justice League without breaking a sweat. The battle between her husband and this monster ended in disaster. The day was won, but her love paid the ultimate price. Clark came back to her a few months later. Now, despite the fact that they are in a different world, this monster is here, and is happening all over again. But things are slightly different now. She can't be there for Clark because her child needs her. John demands answers of how the last fight ended. Lois can't tell her son that his father died fighting the same creature. But she does allow him some time to check on his father's progress. Metropolis. The civilians normally stand their ground because Superman saves the day, but today is different. It is a war zone and everyone is evacuating the city. Jimmy yells at his pal Clark to fly over there, but Clark is persistent. He informs Olsen that he isn't Superman. He never had those powers and he is just a normal human being. Superman is fighting alongside Luthor. They are clearly two different people. Jimmy cannot force Clark's hand, so he prays that the heroes of Metropolis can stop this rampaging creature. Elsewhere, Luthor is exhausted, crawling away from his attacker, but Superman has returned. He tackles Doomsday and gives it everything he's got. Superman knows what is at risk, so he makes every punch count, but will it be enough to stop this catastrophic force of monstrosity? Doomsday now got civilians in his crosshairs, but Superman relentlessly attacks his foe. He tackles Doomsday into the sewers. Superman doesn't like it, but one of his greatest villains is actually helping him clear the area of bystanders. Luthor has been an invaluable source of aid in this war zone. The civilian Clark Kent gets too close and he falls into the sewers. His arm is busted, so he cannot get out. Superman sees Clark Kent and says that he will do everything he can to get this man to safety. Clark demands to talk with Superman. He says that they have met before, but Superman does not know what this man is talking about. He agrees that they both need answers, but after the threat at hand has been immobilized. With the help of Apocalyptian technology, the Mother Box, Luthor's armor repaired itself and he is ready to brawl. But Superman demands for Luthor to save the civilians. A few words were exchanged, but Superman won the argument. Luthor will comply. For now. Superman re-engages the creature while Luthor takes a civilian Clark Kent to safety. A bus arrives to take the injured out of the city. Luthor suggests for Clark to get in, but the reporter won't miss out on the story of the year. Superplex is baffled. Does this man truly think that he is only Clark Kent? Back at the sewers, a battle between titans continues. Superman knows to not let Doomsday in close, so he throws the creature to the wall and releases a devastating amount of solar beam directly at Doomsday. The creature is pinned down, but he found a gas line. An explosion left behind a crater the size of a small island. The civilian Clark Kent found himself separated from his group. He sees a shadow. Superman? No. It is Doomsday! What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island. My name is Joey and thank you so much for watching my review of Action Comics issue 959. It's 3 for 3 so far. Every issue has been very suspenseful and an overall fun ride. The art has improved quite a bit as well. The artist for the last 2 issues is gone and we got Tyler Durkham as the new artist for Action Comics. I don't know if I've seen his work before, but so far, it's very impressive. A great story with average art is a thumbs up in my books, but a great story with great art makes me feel very good about covering this story. But am I jumping the gun here? We know that Superman will come out victorious because the series just started after Rebirth, and my prediction is that Doomsday is just a warm-up villain for something more deadly. With all of the action going on, it's quite easy to forget the side characters. I mentioned this before in one of my reviews. The best thing about Superman to me is his supporting cast. This issue, Lois Lane and John stole the show for me. Without these first few pages, I would say that this comic book and this fight is getting quite a bit long. But at the beginning, Lois brings us back to the time that Doomsday killed Superman and how she felt through all of that. Imagine being in her shoes now, her husband fighting the same monster that killed him last time. But now she has a son that is asking a ton of questions. If she tells him the truth that the creature killed his father the last time they fought, then, well, John will probably fly towards the fight and try to help his dad. As of right now, we don't know the extent of John's powers, so it would be cool to see him learn it, and hopefully we get a few new extra ones as well. Okay, so we move on to the scene where Superman gets a bit of chatting time with the civilian Clark Kent. I'm actually quite baffled by this. The civilian says that Superman saved him and sent him into hiding months before. There is a connection between the civilian and a Superman, but I don't think it's this Superman. So my best guess is that he remembers New 52 Superman and he doesn't know that the hero is dead. But the question remains, where did he come from and why does he think he's only Clark Kent? You can't have a Clark Kent without Superman. They are one and the same, so maybe implanted memories of a clone? That would be the easy way out, so I'm really hoping DC will find a better way of explaining this. Okay, I gotta wrap this up, so I'll go over a few things that really worked for me. Superman mentions Super Doom. I love continuity, and I really enjoyed little references like this. It connects all of the past stories that we have invested our time in, so it's almost like DC is recognizing us for that, and I like it. The relationship between Clark Kent and Luthor is getting really interesting as well. There is always an unstable relationship between these two, but in this case, Superman sees Luthor as evil, but we know that Luthor is trying to do good by his sister. There will always be another chance for these two guys to fight, but for now, they gotta team up against Doomsday, and I love this new direction DC is taking with one of their most iconic villains. Oh, by the way, moving forward, just to avoid confusion, I'm going to refer to pre-New 52 Superman as Clark White. In the miniseries, Clark and Lois kept their first name, but they changed their last name from Kent and Lane to White, probably in honor of their boss Perry White. So their new son is now John White. Okay, so that's all the time I have for now. I found a window in my schedule to rapidly shoot out these reviews, and now we're all caught up. So now I want to hear from you. What do you think about DC Rebirth so far? What issues are you following? I love what they are doing with Superman, so I'm following Action Comics. Superman also has his own self-titled series. It's really good, but for now, I don't know if I have enough time to cover both series. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching my review of Action Comics issue 959. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another Comic Island video.